Very much a test of both stamina and jumping ability, and as we saw last time at the open meeting, a test of navigation as well. And they're off racing, and Beaulieu Tennis is the first to bound on in the black and orange jacket over the first obstacle, with heads on the ground, close up in second place. Out wide Native Beat, followed by Iris Royal, and then Franey's Well and Royal Auclair towards the inside as they make their first turn and head towards the second. This ditch coming up, and Beaulieu Tennis by a couple of lengths here, trying to succeed where he rather unluckily failed at the open meeting. Beaulieu Tennis, he was going very well in the lead under Philip Carberry, and coming to grief 5 or 6 fences out. Beaulieu Tennis, and heads on the ground. Looking back in the field, Leduc appeared to make a mistake there in red sleeves. Now this is the Aintree fence, and it's supposed to be jumped like the canal turn at Aintree. They need to jump it at an angle because there's a sharp left-hand turn shortly after the landing. Beaulieu Tennis heads on the ground up his inside, and he's going to take off in front here. Heads on the ground, JT McNamara. They should just follow him, the jockeys. He really knows the way around, JT McNamara. Beaulieu Tennis in second place, followed by Iris Royal and Royal Auclair, and then Franey's Well. Royal Auclair was slow there. Florida Dream further back from Native Beat. Then Oscar de Ron is in the midfield, followed by Dolgotti Bob and Ivoire Beaulieu. Then Leduc. Gare Champêtre is about 5 from the end at the moment, followed by Rocking Ship, and a good jump there from Wonderkid, who's held up at the back. Craven towards the rear, and All in the Stars is last of all as they take the 8th fence and heads on the ground, led over that. And all still standing here. Heads on the ground from Beaulieu Tennis, Iris Royal and Royal Auclair. In 5th place is Franey's Well and Nina Carberry. The white-faced Florida Dream towards the inside of the French raider Oscar de Ron in the orange cap. Jumped the timber rails nicely there. Dolgotti Bob towards the far side in the noseband and headgear, about 8th. Followed by up the inside in a noseband Native Beat, blue sleeves with Ivoire Beaulieu about 10th. Then Leduc, followed by Gare Champêtre as they jump the next hedge fence. Wonderkid towards the rear with Craven, All in the Stars, and now Rocking Ship is the back marker. So heading on towards the 11th fence, and this is a big hedge with a drop on the landing side. It can be one of the tougher fences on the course. Heads on the ground from Beaulieu Tennis and Iris Royal. And they stream over the hedge there, most of them jumping it very well indeed, in fact, and they all negotiated it safely as they now swing downhill. Another hedge, then they'll be across the bank. Heads on the ground. Takes a good jump from Beaulieu Tennis in second place. Iris Royal is just third towards the far side. Then Royal Auclair and Florida Dream and Native Beat. They now come towards the bank. Just in behind them is Franey's Well in the green cap on the McManus Silks. As they cross the bank now on the landing side and landing well, most of them. Dolgotti Bob is a bit worse than midfield at the moment. Onto the water jump and coming towards the end of their first circuit. Heads on the ground from Iris Royal and Beaulieu Tennis. Royal Auclair and Native Beat are close up behind those. There was Rocking Ship right at the tail of the field. They swing left-handed in front of the stands, and it's heads on the ground that leads from Iris Royal. Native Beat is out wide in the noseband. Beaulieu Tennis is 4th. Then Florida Dream from Royal Auclair. Franey's Well behind these from Ivoire Beaulieu and Oscar de Ron. Dolgotti Bob, another slight mistake from Leduc. Then Gare Champêtre, 4 lengths to Wonderkid. Craven, All in the Stars, and Rocking Ship is pulling up. Rocking Ship is the first one to pull up. Is out of the race, was trailing badly, clearly struggling, and it's still heads on the ground. The festival winner who leads the way here from Iris Royal in second place. Iris Royal, who's been a very good servant over the years to Sir Robert Ogden, as they clear that one and now race on towards the next ditch. Heads on the ground across the centre of the cross-country course, going across the bank now as they cut across the centre. The second time they've jumped the bank from a different angle though. Heads on the ground, Royal Auclair, Florida Dream and Iris Royal. Oscar de Ron was just a little bit awkward going up the bank there, the French horse, as they now head towards fence number 19, just past halfway, and heads on the ground. And JT McNamara, All in the Stars, has been pulled up. He was out the back, all in the stars. Across the racecourse proper and over the next. Heads on the ground. One that's lost a lot of ground is Beaulieu Tennis, who was up with the pace early and has dropped right through the field. Horse that ran so prominently here at the open meeting has lost his place at this stage as they jump the next ditch. Heads on the ground, jumping beautifully at the moment for JT McNamara. They have just found the ideal replacement for Spot the Difference here. In second place, Royal Auclair. Florida Dream is third, then Iris Royal. Native Beat remains in touch as they jump this big hedge fence now. Biggest drop on the landing side. Most of them handle it with aplomb. And now with 11 left to jump, they're going to return to the water jump and then begin their final circuit, and the race will really begin in earnest. And Heads on the Ground continues to make it. Has made just about all so far. From Royal Auclair on the near side, Florida Dream with the white face. In the pink jacket, Iris Royal, as they clear the water jump. Seem to be going a better pace now. Native Beat behind those from Ivoire de Beaulieu, who stays very well. Ivoire de Beaulieu, the blue sleeve jacket, the winner of this race in 2005, back in front of the stands. And now they're going to cross this next little hedge, and it's Royal Auclair driving up the inside of Heads on the Ground. Florida Dream is third, Iris Royal is fourth. Ivoire de Beaulieu next up the inside of Franey's Well, then Native Beat. Garde Champetre is getting a bit closer, being asked to improve his position, Garde Champetre. Le Duc is closer now, they're packing up in fact. Osco de Ron, then Wonderkid, Craven, Dolgotti Bob, and Beaulieu Tennis looks like being pulled up. A disappointing run today. 8 left to jump, 8 only at the next. Royal Auclair and Heads on the Ground. They've got a bit of daylight on the others now. Florida Dream is back in third as they race slightly uphill towards this next ditch, and then it's the Aintree fence once again. Little to choose between Heads on the Ground and Royal Auclair. Heads on the Ground just about a half length ahead of Royal Auclair. Now let's see how they take the Aintree fence. Remember this sharp left-hand turn on landing here. JT McNamara on Heads on the Ground. Liam Hurd on Royal Auclair in second place. Florida Dream is third, and David England. Le Duc, red sleeves, has made good ground there as they take Aintree. Craven is one. Oh, no, we've got a couple that slipped up. I think Craven slipped up on that sharp turn there, and Garde Champetre also slipped up, went in touch, as now they run across the infield with 4 to jump. Bit of drama then again at the Aintree fence, and it's Heads on the Ground from Royal Auclair. Iris Royal has been pulled up. And at the third last, Heads on the Ground, Royal Auclair. Wonderkid has come there very strongly. Red and green jacket, having been given a very quiet ride by Kenny Whelan. They're now back on the racecourse proper. Florida Dream is back in fourth. Then Le Duc and Ivoire de Beaulieu as they run down to the second last. One of the stuffed hurdles. Heads on the Ground, Royal Auclair and Wonderkid. They're going to race around the final left-hand turn. Back in fourth is Florida Dream, the inside of Le Duc. Then Ivoire de Beaulieu, a gap to Franey's Well, Native Beat and Osco de Ron, and there's not much else left in it. And it's JT McNamara yet again here at Cheltenham on Heads on the Ground this time, but challenged on both sides. Wonderkid in the noseband and Royal Auclair in the purple cap, and it's Wonderkid that comes through to lead at the final fence, and Wonderkid is going great guns now. A big weight differential here. Wonderkid getting lots of weight from Heads on the Ground, and Wonderkid is clearing away up the hill off a featherweight in the hands of Ken Whelan, and fairly hacks up in the end. It's close for second. Heads on the Ground may just have held second on the near side of Royal Auclair. Finishing well was Ivoire de Beaulieu with Florida Dream, then Le Duc and Native Beat. Another gap then to Franey's Well, Osco de Ron. Dolgotti Bob completed in his own time, and most of the others failed to complete. In fact, I think that was just about it. Wonderkid then at 5 to 1. Quite remarkable how this horse was suddenly just put into the race with 3 or 4 to jump. Just languished out the back of the field for most of the way. Literally put to sleep by Ken Whelan, and then he woke him up over the last 2, and he's won it really easily.